Well, as we know, the factors affecting the food price volatility and the spikes are very complex. So we need a comprehensive approach. So that would be the message I'm going to take to G20. Just for your information, in the evening of 22nd, the debate will start from 8 o'clock p.m. to 4 o'clock a.m. So long-hour debate. So they wanted to get something serious. So short-term actions. Yes, indeed, we need a global emergency physical grain reserve. I don't think this will be a problem. I'm pretty sure this will be there. Now the question is how. I think if you just try to propose something that's a tiger without teeth, then it's useless. So I think the question is how we can really build this global emergency reserve. Can large countries, producing countries like US, Canada, and China, Brazil, donate some of their grains in their national stocks? Peter, I like your idea, just to use their national stocks. Earmark for a global institution like WFP, so they can ship the grains around when there is a crisis. So in large producing countries or surplus countries, where they have large stock, they can donate some of their existing stocks to WFP. In the meantime, the WFP can build some regional stocks in the poor countries, poor regions, let's say Ethiopia, Eritrea, or Somalia, maybe somewhere in the regional stock. Now, Southeast Asia is rice grains reserve. A rice reserve is really good model to follow. Peter, you see, just for your information, this round, the rice price has not risen much. This is a great success. That's because the ASEAN countries plus three, China, South Korea, and Japan worked together. Firstly, there's no country will impose rice export ban. Which country has done it? No country has done it. Second, they are discussing about a coordinated national grain release policy. I remember last March when the rice prices begin to move up, many countries begin to release their national stocks. Vietnam, Cambodia. So that helped to calm down the domestic market as well as international market. And now obviously ASEAN countries is discussing a regional grain reserve. It's about 1 million tons. Indonesia has already committed. Many countries, China, Japan, South Korea have also committed almost 200,000 tons. So it's working. It's small. We don't know whether it will be sustainable, but definitely it's a good experience. So we need to scale them up to the global level. Then social protection. Yes, Rob Snyder mentioned about social protection, but we have to make sure that social protection is well targeted. Otherwise, it will be very expensive. So we target social protection to poorest poor, particularly women and children. I hope the G20 will take that seriously. Then in longer run, the food and the fuel competition should be really minimized. I know there is a debate, it's a political, it's sensitive, but we got to have something there. We just cannot relate to the biofuel to compromise poor people's nutrition and health. This country uses 40% of the maize production, 140 million metric tons of maize production or biofuel production. It's almost equivalent to the second largest maize producers, China's production, which is about 150 to 170 million metric tons. Huge amount of grain has been used. Yes, we do need to think how we can tax the biofuel. Yeah, we know that when the oil price reaches to maybe $100 per barrel, even without subsidy, you remove all the subsidies, the biofuel production will be economically viable. Economically, well, economic works, market works, but it will lead to lots of poverty and hunger in this world. And so one of the reasons why we should have public policy is to correct this market failure, this distribution issue. So I think the taxing biofuel is feasible, and probably we don't need to wait. Peter, you said that we can wait for 5 or 10 years. Why we should wait? Why should we just try to proposed right now. Then transparent trade is very much needed, not only during the price spikes, but also during the lower prices. When the prices are low, we make sure that OECD, US will cut down their subsidies, make sure that emerging economies will not follow OECD countries to increase their subsidies. I think this is very critical. During food crisis, make sure that the export bans will be abolished, not starving their neighbor. Yes, in longer run, we very much like to see the successful completion of Doha round. So without the completion of Doha round, 200 or $300 million economic benefit is lost every year. And developing countries, 17% of that. So we need to make sure that in the long run, we support this trade liberalization. Yes, I very much agree that in longer run, we have to increase our investment to promote agriculture productivity. But I wanted to argue that that investment should target to smallholders. It's the smallholders that accounts for a large percentage of the poor, of the hungry people. So if we can target these smallholders, on the one hand, they increase production, they increase their income, they will be out of poverty, they will improve their nutrition. On the other, they can also provide nutritious, healthy, and high-value production to general population. Now, I want to emphasize evidence-based. Again, evidence-based. Many issues here, we still don't have enough evidence. For example, even the number of poor, number of hungry people, we are debated. FAO reports now we have 1 billion hungry people, now maybe 935. But these numbers are highly questionable. And Peter mentioned about the Gallup survey. That survey tells you a very different story. China, India, instead of increasing hungry people, poor people during food crisis, in fact, these two countries see a large drop. Why is that? Is this because of data problem or because of the modeling problem? Maybe Gallup survey reports the results of all the consequences, not just the food price. China, India's economy was growing at 8%, 10% during the food crisis. That helped to move enough people out of poverty and hunger. But we do not have hard evidence to show. Even today, we still don't have good evidence to see how many poor people have really, really affected from higher food prices. From real data, not simulated. Most of the impact is simulated, modeled by the World Bank, by FAO. Even FAO's data is calculated using the past production data, prices, trade. So it's not real data. We don't have hard evidence. And I also wanted to emphasize the important role that emerging economies can play. Brazil, China, India, and South Africa. So they are not only large traders, large producers, large consumers, but they are also large investors in agriculture. So overseas investment in Africa, in the agriculture area. And also their experience in addressing food security and poverty reduction can be learned, can be shared with others. So for that, I thank you very much. Let's again give a very big hands up, applause to our panel discussants.